Hey y'all, it's Dawn, and I'm so glad you're back. I've got another fun, budget-friendly DIY video for you today. This is another collab, and I'll tell you more about it in a minute. Now for the first DIY. This is a super cute DIY I saw on the Burlap Kitchen's Facebook page and knew I had to give it a try. They made an amazing tier tray drawer using Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks. I used this large square so I could keep the blocks as straight as possible. I began by gluing 2 tumbling tower blocks together with Dollar Tree wood glue. I glued 5 sets of 2 blocks each. And then started putting the little drawer together. I placed 1 set on the bottom and glued the other sets around it. I used a couple of wood clamps to hold the drawer together until the wood glue had set up. I painted one of the drawers with Folk Art blushed pink rose chalk paint and the other with Waverly elephant chalk paint. For the drawer pulls, I used a half bead from a package I got from Amazon and hot glued it to the front of the little drawer. I cut down a piece of floral foam and placed it in the bottom of the drawer, and then added some greenery and Spanish moss. And just look at how sweet it turned out. I will definitely be making some of these adorable little tier tray drawers. Let me know what you think in the comments. I used a pair of kids' fuzzy socks from Dollar Tree to make some cute tier tray hearts. I bought a bag of wood hearts on Amazon and used it to trace a heart onto the sock. I used a Sharpie and marked around the heart a little larger than the actual heart. Using a pair of scissors, I cut the heart out. Using my glue gun, I hot glued the bottom of the heart, leaving the top open so I could stuff it. After filling the sock with stuffing, I glued the top of the heart together. I made a second heart using the other sock and cut it at the heel for a different look. I used hot glue again to close the heart up and added stuffing. I trimmed around the edges of the sock's heart to remove any of the glue that had seeped out. And just look at how stinking cute these little tier tray socks turned out. I think they are adorable. The idea for this project came from Burlap Kitchen over on Facebook. But of course, I put my own spin on it. I'll leave a link to their Facebook page in the description if you want to check them out. Today's video is part of the Try It Tuesday collab hosted by Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs. If you don't know Sammy, go check out her channel. She has amazing home decor DIYs and is one of my favorite crafters. I'll leave a link to Sammy's channel along with a link to the playlist in the description below. Now back to some amazing Valentine's Day DIYs. I found this little sign in my stash that I'd picked up at Dollar General for $1. I taped up the bottom with painter's tape. And painted the sign with Waverly white chalk paint. And then I decided to change the color. I do this all the time. In the middle of a project, my brain goes, hey, this will be better. Does anybody else have this happen? Let me know in the comments. I painted it again with Waverly elephant chalk paint with a small amount of Waverly white mixed in just to lighten it up a little. I also found this little heart in my stash and painted it with Folk Art blushed pink rose. I added a little bow with dovetailed ends to cover the hole at the top of the heart. I hot glued the heart to the sign, stenciled on the word love from a chalk Couture stencil in my stash, and look at how stinking cute and sweet. It turned out perfect. I found this little jar in my stash. I wanted to use it on a tier tray, but I couldn't figure out exactly what I wanted to do with it. And then I remembered this cool terracotta paint Plaid sent me. This is the second project I used it on, and I have to say I love this paint. It has a sandy texture, and when you layer it, you get a textured look and feel. For the first couple of layers, I simply painted it on with a regular paintbrush and dried it between coats with my heat gun. For the final couple of layers, I used a stenciling brush and pounced the paint onto the bud vase. I also pounced the paint around the inside top of the vase to cover up the shiny glass. I added a simple bow around the neck of the jar, and just look at how adorable it is. You can't tell with the camera, but there is so much texture, and instead of looking like a glass vase, it actually looks like a piece of pottery. I'll leave a link to my Amazon store where you can find this amazing paint. I know for sure I'll be using it a lot more often, and it comes in such a variety of colors. You're sure to find something that you'll like too. This is a simple DIY that only takes minutes and turned out so stinking cute. I painted this little piece of wood from Dollar Tree with Waverly white chalk paint. Used a ruler and a black Sharpie to draw the folds of an envelope. I next painted a little heart from a pack I had gotten from Amazon with Folk Art blushed pink rose chalk paint. Once the heart had dried, I stamped the word love onto the heart. And hot glued the heart to the envelope. I also hot glued a tumbling tower block just a little above the bottom of the envelope so it would stand on its own. And just look how adorable it is. And it took me maybe 5 minutes to make. Let me know what you think of this cute little tier tray love envelope in the comments. I had this piece of gray buffalo plaid in my stash. I folded it in half and cut a heart out of it. I used some chalk Couture ink and a stencil to apply this saying to the heart. Live simply. I love this saying. So sweet, so simple. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the little heart, but then I found this pillow cover that I'd gotten from Amazon. I trimmed the heart onto some ultra heat and bond so I could attach the heart to the pillow cover. Placed the heart on top of the heat and bond and placed a piece of wax paper on top. Oh, and I wouldn't recommend doing this on the pillow cover like I did. Thankfully, none of the glue from the heat and bond seeped through to the cover. I don't know what I was thinking, but I pressed it with my Cricut heat press. I removed the backing and centered the heart onto the cover. Placed the wax paper on top again and pressed with my heat press. I thought it still needed something. I found this light gray yarn and decided to add it. I think this pillow turned out so stinking cute. Let me know in the comments what you think. Please take a second to like this video and leave me a comment. This really helps my channel to grow so others just like yourself can find me. If you just found me, I hope you will join our little family by hitting the subscribe button. If you are already part of the family, thank you so much for your love and support. Y'all are the absolute best. Check out my new Amazon store for craft supply and farmhouse home decor recommendations. All the products I use from Amazon in my videos can be found there. Until next time, happy crafting.